Here, when I get that, I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. It's all over the place. There's not a consistency in my tone, and I can't go high that way. Just what, I can't do it. Okay? And I'm not trying to sound bad, it just sounds bad. Okay? Now, when I center the vowel, it gives me that consistent tone to my voice, a nicer tone, and I'm able to get up through there. I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. Just once, I go high. Just once, I just keep going higher and higher and higher. E rather than A. Hear the difference? Okay. I won't explain technically why that is, just know that that is true. The more that you can get that vowel into the center towards the do you notice that all those vowels kind of touch each other in the middle there around the So I can do an E that is pretty close to that I can do an A that is pretty close to that I can do an that is pretty close to that Does that make sense? Okay. If I do that, amazing things happen.
Coming to the end. And now I want to show you what happens in the high register of the female voice that usually only the classical singers use, but also pop singers. From a certain tone on, which we call internationally like E5, F5, F sharp, we enter the next register, which is the head register. And we need high notes have a high frequency, right? All the harmonics are distant from each other. And we need vowel formants that have a high value in hertz as well, right? So what are the vowels that have a high first formant? Maybe you remember this is the axis of the first formant. So what we find here is A and E. So we can only choose these vowels. There is no classical area that has a high note on the vowel of an E. You remember any? Have you ever heard in the opera a soprano singing a high note on an E? It's not possible. There is no formant for supporting this. And in classical singing, we want to hear this kind of aesthetic. And in popular styles, in the belting extension, we also accept our E wants to hear also the E vowel. Okay? Good. I thank you very much for your attention. I hope I could minimize the dragon of vocal science. Liebt Sänger und das Singen und ist wirklich hingebungsvoll, arbeitet daran, dieses ganze Wissen, das hat, uns in einer Form weiterzugeben, sodass wir einfach noch bessere Lehrer werden. Hubert Noe.
Thank you for the friendly presentation of myself. Daniela, in addition to your presentation, I just want to start with this picture, which is rather at the end of this presentation, so that you see if we want to stabilize or to support our sound. This is not only the belly, this is not only the chest, nicht nur Bauch und Brust, but it's also what comes back as a wave from the mouth, because the sound that you create with the larynx does not totally go out of the mouth. Some of the sound gets reflected at the mouth because there are molecules of air outside and they don't want to give way so easily. And because they have a mass, and if I want to sit down where you sit, you won't give way easily because I have to remove your molecules so that I can take place here. So the same is with that. And a part will come back. And the question is now, as Daniela told you, are the waves that travel to the lips in phase with the waves that travel back? Do they have almost or the same, totally the same frequency as the frequency of the vowel that you create? Then they will increase each other, and two waves with the same frequency traveling in opposite direction create a standing wave.
This is out of Teaching Good Seeing, Dr. Noah's appendix. But so you see in chest voices diagram here where we are using much more of the lower part of the vocal fold as we transition to more of the mid portion and to the just very touching at the small thin vocal folds touching just minimally at the top in the head voice. And you can read that whole wonderful book. And so to conclude with, before we go into show some slides of various pathologies, as Dr. Noah says, mixed sounds like chest, but more brilliant, higher harmonics, less mass and vibration, less lung pressure, and less danger of damage. So we've heard this all morning now.
If you feel nothing there, it's fine. Just give it a moment to feel. Is there something that I can perceive, some kind of tension, some kind of closing, some kind of losing of freedom? And want to feel it. Want to feel it. And now feel your pelvis. Your lowest belly and your pelvis.
Das Becken für alle Deutschsprachigen.
All the area that's covered by your underwear, knickers. Feel what's happening inside of your knickers.
So what I would like to do now is I'm going to walk in between the rows, and every time we want to change the emotion, I'm going to tap one of you on the shoulder, and you're going to call out the next emotion.
Okay.
Yes?
Cool.
Okay.
Woman, I am bored.
Excited.
What does woman mean?
Nervous.
Must my dreams face scorn?
Disgusted.
Held back and unseen. Am I not to feel?
Suicidal.